4 months of online play for NiP, just trying to get to a tier 1 event. They're finally here. Of course, they drew Spirit. It was never going to be easy, but already a win in their pocket over VP, and a statement to make today if they can take down Aurora.
I think it's also, you know, quite a humbling experience for a lot of these guys coming close to the top edges of Counter-Strike. You know, you think about the kind of stories for a lot of them. You know, you have the old Sword duo that were phenomenal, that felt like they were destined to go to a great team and go on and do great things, having to try and carve out a spot alongside guys like Snappy, who obviously had a very disappointing time in Falcons post his ENT success. He felt like he took a big step back there. And then for Shush, kind of the dregs, the last remnant, the one left behind from all the heroic moves. Yeah. Everyone had a point to prove, and they had to go back to the grassroots to kind of rebuild their stature. I think that's a nice reminder for these guys of why they do this, why they're so hungry, why they're so keen.
Yeah, and of course, probably the biggest critics of the VRS system, but they did manage to eventually break their way through. Every win here matters a lot for NiP. It builds up their points going into next season, so they come in hungry with a point to prove, with heads to take. Quick entries into the B-bomb site from the temple flank, and Wakadi can stop this all on his own, but he's pinned in behind the site. Aros Dos overwhelms him. 2v3 bomb planted.
Ox are going to try come through dark. He's got Snappy right in front of him, though. Clean on the dual Berettas. Madja left up in the clutch. And doesn't look like he wants to take this one any further.
There's nothing to save. You may as well go just to get the kills, to get a bit of money. Just hoping for exit, I guess. But
this is the start of the year, Madja. He was very threatening in these clutches. But yeah, not even going to play his hand in this one.
Kind of, yeah, pointless, but whatever. It's a lost round regardless. NiP run amok through the temple. I think a T-side Anubis could be very exciting when I think Snappy and I think about that old Ents roster with Diho and Madden and Sampayas. He was a really strong in-game leader. He had a lot of really nice B executes. Happy to play fast rounds, fearless Counter-Strike.
You just know the vibe in this team for Snappy is going to be like the polar opposite of what he found in Falcons, which, as we learned kind of after the fact, had been a dead team walking for the longest time anyway. It kind of looked like that as well. You know, he's got a very, very hungry team, and that's the mindset they have to be in, as you said, throughout every game they play here because of the VRS.
And on top of, you know, playing a solid T-side and calling well, what we saw in that Spirit game yesterday was Snappy. Unk still got it, Harry. He was holding his own strong individually. Oof. Couple of pistol kills here, but it won't matter too much other than some saved guns here for Aurora.
Yeah, this is a sick full eco round out of Aurora.
No doubt. Could get better.
Yeah, they might even get to sweeten the deal here. That's also an AK on Snappy laid out in front of Madja, but it looks like he's going to get flanked here and not ready.
Oh.
They pincer the spawn and they will flush him out. Still, 3 kills in a full eco. That's a good chunk of damage done by Aurora. Let's see if they can capitalize on it as the guns now come out for the first time.
Yeah, it's a team that went on a huge streak on Anubis, double digits, to start the year when they were in Eternal Fire, and they had great CT sides as well all the way through it. So can Aurora keep that up? Showcase a strong defense on their go-to map. Santara's fighting in middle. But NiP take it with Molotovs. Push out B main with a flashbang. They cleared this entirely. Second flash, perfect. Shush. Oh, he shot too soon. Now they swing him together. Shush with the kill. 4 on 4. Could have gone worse. Split.
Joe had been spotted. He's got the full support of the rest of his team here. Wide swing for WOXIK playing through the molly. And the round just kind of peters out for NiP. They still have low HP players that this Mac 10 could try and break through, but ding straight away is Ujerks. No love for Wrinkle. That was a well-handled round from Aurora. Good timing on the move over towards B.
Not a single bit of utility on that defense, and they get every kill with the rifles. That's a very impressive hold, considering they were mollied out of position. Jota swung early, took a lot of damage, still able to tuck in for his kill. Like you said, that rotate for Xantares couldn't have been better timed. Some very sharp shots to get Aurora on the board.
Not as good as blocking the smoke as Magic.
Well, I was going to say that was actually a different lineup that NiP are using, one that looked a lot harder to block because of the way it bounced. So,
okay, Magic. It's very, very sharp stuff to find the opener into Dark. Now the block in main takes the pace out of the round. Arostov's dead. Spam makes it curious. They don't have to commit here, 2 on 3, but they're going to play through. Don't have any control anywhere else. Don't feel like going back to check. And so they try to battle forward and throws them into the crosshairs of WOXIK and Jota. And Aurora will tie this game up. This is where now you get to capitalize on all that damage you did in your full eco. Completely broke RNIP. Might even have pistols to float around really in this round coming. And so already, this is a very nice start for the CT side. To be in control of the money so early in the game is fantastic. I mean, at the start of the year, when the Aurora guys were kind of on their streak back in the Eternal Fire squad, it was their surprisingly hefty CT halves that helped them out a hell of a lot. They even had that crazy comeback right at the start of the year at Rivals. I can't remember who
Bounty.
it was against. Yeah, Bounty rather. Okay. But they were like 210 down off of their T side and then pulled it all the way back in a CT half comeback.
Was that against Vitality or no?
I almost want to say Spirit. Well, we'll see.
I think you might be right, actually. Yeah, I think you might be right. Either way, yeah. Didn't take long for them to set their foot in this map. Nice easy ante. Was never going to be. Couple of Glocks put to bed. Aurora 5 alive. Xantares with 4 kills. Game on here, NiP. Gonna have to dig deep.
It was Spirit, yeah, in the final.
Yes. Yes.
3-round T-half. Pulled it back and won.
They won in reg?
No, in OT, but still.
We'll allow it.
Crazy, you know, it's a 9-round CT half.
NiP with attack. You go into the series, you know I think both teams know the 2 maps they're playing right before they even do the veto. You know, Aurora
these are 2 squads with like a specialized map pool and a very, very clear favorite. So you're dead on. NiP knew what they were in for here on map 1. They're hoping that their chance for revenge will be map 2. And you feel like they have to do a lot of the heavy lifting in this first half. T-side is where almost everyone does their best work on Anubis. I think at bare minimum, you need to feel like you pressured Aurora a little bit here, and you yourselves get warmed up ahead of train. That's the map to follow. Aurora never been super keen on playing for mid control. You'll frequently see the defense kind of split like this. Having Xantares is a bit of a roaming piece to come and take middle if needs be. And in rounds where he doesn't, they'll entrust that defense to WotXik and Wakadia. But NiP are heading towards B, and right now Xantares has been pulled away from this side of the map thanks to that blocking util in mid.
Huge Molotov though, they really wanted to just go, and now Xantares is already back in position. The mobile Terminator in position to stop this B hit. Maja, another Molotov, they're gonna eat it up. Xantares peeks out, and look at this threatening triple hold. All the rifles fighting forward. NiP getting slammed into the ground. They don't get a chance.
Oh, Snappy immediately called for attack.
Really?
Yeah.
A second tack immediately. Damn. Well, he didn't like how that one went.
Well, the thing that's... So, actually, I think, like, the idea behind this round was super cool, and NiP got the reaction they were hoping for, right? Like, we were touching upon how for Aurora, it's fairly common to see, like, mid get left open. WotXik kind of covers it from A in tandem with Wakadia, and then Xantares floats around. And so they threw the util in mid that like blocks off the view from camera, opens up the world of, you know, possibility for a temple wrap, and that pulled Xantares away from the three-man B stack. Yeah. So they got the exact reaction they were hoping for, but then got chewed up and destroyed at the mouth of main with enough time, thanks to that Molotov and blocking util.
2 Molotovs.
For Xantares to get back there.
Yeah, 2 Molotovs.
You can see what NiP were doing, though. You can see the idea. They know what they're up against. They know how they can shuffle around this CT setup. It was that extra util buying time and some flubbed attempts at the entries for NiP.
Yeah, I think it's very hard to get through the Xantares Jota 2B main fighting. Throw Madra in there as well. A lot of eyes on that position. NiP needed the con control to draw at least someone out of that fight. So what's attack going to show us here? Maybe something they go back to in the next gun round. For now, it's just Wrinkle with the saved AK. Ouch. Oh, 93 damage nade, no biggie. It was all a dream.
It does seem like a lot of this game plan is going to hinge around trying to create these opportunities in middle through, you know, a variety of different means, whether that's faking like in the last round, this time actually trying to play with the space that they've been given. They get very close to WotXik, but that is a sick opening. Wrinkle dead, and there's Wakadia coming back to play in tandem. These two right at home in this A-hold. Even though Arosdos has secured the plant for NiP, which is sick, he won't go on to win this round. He's in a 1 versus 3 at 2 health. No armor and a wide swing will seal his fate. Still, NiP content with a bomb plant with how that round started.
It's a shame because they walked up close on WotXik. It looked really good, but Wrinkle was covering and WotXik just obliterated him. You feel like if the pistols like jumped the corner or made first contact, maybe the rifle could have traded. That wouldn't have gone as bad, but WotXik gets his kill, he gets out. He's able to play off Wakadia really well. I think both these sites are terrifying. Xantares and, you know, I know he's floating, but Xantares and Jota at B or WotXik and Wakadia at A, it's two terrifying sites. Sure, Magic is the B anchor, but I feel like Xantares is always there when these hits are coming in. 5-2, this stellar CT side again showing up for Aurora. I want to see if NiP can ever pull Aurora into the wrong place in this half so they don't have a triple setup. Wakadia with a flash play just
such an
obliterates
insane flash play though.
Yeah.
Like he is alone on that. There's no one even nearby who could rotate. Like even Xantares was pushed up in middle. And so, like, Wakadia assumes all the risk in that round with a flash play. And the thing that's cool about it is now if you're NiP, you're thinking, well, he would only do that if he has support, right? Like, there's no way he's pushing up alone. Someone flashed for him. But no, that was a self-flash from Wakadia. And now NiP have to go and clear all this A main space. They do get it. Calling the bluff of Aurora. Looking like they move through on this. Wakadia gets the spot, sure, but they're already in.
Gets owned by U-Jerks. Woxic flashed off, and they lined up for Shush, but it did not matter with Xantares on the other side playing like this. 11-3, a hard guy to beat. It's a retake that Aurora absolutely will attempt, but they have to reroute to spawn. No blocking util. Flash goes into heaven. It was nice, but the cover came in late. One player fully blind, Xantares not the case.
Aristos was feeling a lot of pressure there, right? All the smokes used to block camera, left only one angle open, and he was responsible for heaven, but toppled out of the round. It's going to come down to Wrinkle and U-Jerks. Bomb to play around. Orb strikes first. There's U-Jerks taking it even further. Aurora fast running out of time. And even though these nades rain in, it won't be enough. You won't win this retake. NiP pull up and turn around a 2v4. Wrinkle and U-Jerks making NiP magic happen.
That's a very impressive round to hold on to. I feel like Aurora are getting too dug into the amount of util they have, and they're really slow to actually make that happen because they're throwing such a flurry of utility. They're good grenades though. Smoking off Wrinkle, he has to come through. He still hits his shot. None of the flashes do a thing to NiP. And yeah, I mean, look at that clock. When the first peak comes in, you're relying on that instant kill. So NiP win a round out of nowhere. Oh, and Woxic's lucky to be alive. Get out of there. 1 health. Wrinkle robbed. And Woxic's the type of guy to still get a kill, even in this position. Again? Oh, you had your chance. You should have taken it. The nade does end Woxic, but Xantares is on form. Ooh. Okay, NiP with a chance. 4v3. Can't afford to lose this round here. Aurora have so much money. NiP not in the same place. Aurora make a gamble. And NiP get it right. Exits for Aurora would be very valuable here, but they don't want to risk their guns. And the AWP is salvage, so very good round for NiP.
Terrorists win.
Oof.
Yeah, I love that Snappy, you know, calls the slowdown there, like gives Aurora enough time to kind of opt out of the round themselves. All the info that Aurora had did feel like it was pointing to a B hit once that slowdown comes in. They never saw the extremity player on A. The only guy they'd seen was the Shush waiting around outside of B. He'd already found the kill on Madger, who NiP knows is that B site anchor. The gamble comes up short. Snappy's slowdown. Let Aurora move off target. NiP starting to find a way back in on this T side after all. Aggression through lower.
Oh, good check. They know about Wakari as well. He should not swing this, knowing there's an AWP in water. Just going to block instead. Nading the window for Woxic. He's been in this position round after round. And that deep molly with some spam gives con control to NiP. But they don't want to take it. It's a fake out. They're going back to A into the Woxic orb.
Woxic nails that first shot. Has support on its way, but has to stay in this a little moment longer. Wakadia now arrives, at least keeps this even in a 3-on-3. NiP hold off on this plant. They're ready to fight and die for this B-site control. And it's Snappy out in the open. Needs support, and Shush moves in, but is cut down. Snappy has to do it alone. And he comes close, but no cigar. Wakadia the one to walk away with that, tucked neatly in the Aurora side of things, 6-4.
Devastating round to lose for NiP because you feel like you made the right play. You even got Woxic 1-for-1, which is really nice with the man advantage provided by Wrinkle. And Aurora just thrive in the chaos there, all coming through the camera smoke, all fighting through the flashes. Not letting you take space, not letting you plant that bomb. And they shoot harder. Oh, Snappy. Taking down Xantares. 14-5, that was no easy task. He's dinked in the process. Gonna sell his nades in middle.
It's frustrating for Xantares. That play is a bit of a follow-through from the last round. When they opened up with the aggression, Jota on his way to B went mid first, through the mid smoke to give the illusion that they could cross bridge and like throw more chaos into the water hit. And then Xantares ran it back again, hoping that once more they would kind of discount this bridge smoke as nothing more than blocking util and a fake. Snappy was holding for it. Woxic repeat round, but not the same results, just one from him. And this time, this site looks to crumble. Jota has added a bit of intrigue with that one kill there. This lurk from Wrinkle could be very influential. If he falls, they're going to go for this, but if he hits that timing, it seals the deal on the round. And Madge has got to commit to the save.
Kit smoke, kit smoke.
What does he?
See if they, screw this one up, but no. It is optimistic. You don't get ninjas on this map very often, especially not on A, with how open that side is.
Well, the ninjas are loving this map right now. 5 rounds. I say loving it, actually. This is 5.
Yeah, 6 would be okay. 6 would be fine. Like, Aurora, they went on that early streak. Force those 2 timeouts. Ever since that point, it's gone pretty much to plan. Like, the previous round loss, you can write off because I feel like you did everything right. You got into a 1v1. But this one makes all the difference here. If Aurora finds 7, that's a very healthy CT side. Part of the course for this team, but hard to repeat for most squads. Let alone one up.
I mean, NiP and Snappy, for their credit, have clearly done their homework. They've had a lot of kind of tailor-made ideas for how to move around this Aurora defense, and their reactions have been great. You think about in some of these man advantage rounds where they slow it right down. Well, that one they didn't. They immediately upped the pace. Xantares is that floating player. He would have been the next to rotate.
Oh my, Snappy, you mad lad. Just walks through the smoke. That was just a solo play to try and force an entry kill. Force it did. Aurora tried to get information. The whole map is quiet. Swing into middle.
When you kill Zantares there, and with Woxic dead already, you have to go A. You have to go for this split. You have all the room. You know there's only one guy here. The rotates are so far away for Aurora, with the two B players being left in the picture. And so another one of these just very solid reactions from NiP. Clearly a great understanding of what they're up against from this Aurora CT side. And they just need to seal the deal on a 4v2.
Oh, give it up. Yeah, second AWP. Oh, bang, so many AWPs. One of them will connect, and that's it for NiP, getting 6 on the half. Could have gone a lot worse with that streak of 5 for Aurora. NiP still broke into the half.
Yeah, I don't think you're happy at all, you know, with like a 6-6, but the knowledge that you recovered a game that could have felt so much worse. And, you know, when you think about the fact that if you remember that like rifle round that they ran where they actually got the reaction out of Aurora, they won it, and Snappy like immediately calls back-to-back tack timeouts. It's like, if you didn't have that one misstep, I think this could have been an even prettier half for NiP.
Yeah. Or just that 1v1 on B, or A rather.
So, you know, there were certainly moments where NiP could have looked to have even won out this first half on their T side. They'll be happy that they grounded their way back into it down the stretch, taking the final 4 of 5.
Expect to see a very different looking T side for Aurora, right? A team that don't really use lurkers too much and do play pack CS. We will see them walking 3 or 4 middle, having Zantares just entry doors, often without even Molotovs, and just going off of grouped play. It's fun to watch, especially on this map. Pistol round first. No kit in play. Oh, I love this.
Going into the 3 stack. Ujax needs a couple cleanly. He'll get out with 2. And now Shush plays his hand from backside. He was unaccounted for, not known about. Ooh. And he'll clean up. NiP, dominant pistol round to open up their CT half. That's now both pistols for them on this map. Giving them a nice little leg up here to start off on the harder half.
This was sick as well for you, Chugs. Shush full blinded that B main player and then closes it. But both B anchors locking in a double apiece. And a full eco for Aurora. They didn't even make a dent.
Snappy ace incoming. 1 mag, MP9. Unk still got it. Check this out. Oh, Doss ruined it.
I think he was dead without that help.
No, bro.
Yep.
That was his. We all saw it.
Well, he's top fragging, Harry.
Right. Snappy has clearly done his homework, as have the rest of NiP. And so now the onus is on Aurora. They want to move off kilter, and try some new things, or are they going to stick to their guns with their, home map Remedy being one with a very proven track record?
Well, they've got a strong Xantares right now, so keep that in mind. Tip of the spear, entry man here for Aurora. Somewhat reliant on this guy. But for good reason.
Likes to do a lot of these 1-4 lurk pools. He'll be playing another round later. The rest of Aurora focus on taking away this main control. And he can hear a lot from this position in mid. Even the kind of light scramble of these B players, I think, has given him a bit of interest. He feels like right now they're shuffling the defense around. We know, though, that NiP canceled that rotate. They didn't commit to it. And that's with Snappy pushed all the way up in mid, still having this part of the map on lock, and the A play having slowed down. NiP maintain the 3B stack. Aurora, through the info collected earlier, might be about to play into the hands of NiP.
They killed Snappy dropping in. They still have time to cancel if they don't like what they see. Realizing this is a stack right now, they're still going in.
Try and follow through. Shush back plat, gets rid of WOXIK. The hit is stalling out. Aurora, this is getting awkward. Those rotates now arriving. Pressure's on. Smokes will start to clear. Wakadia will make up for it. Plays straight through and into the heart of NiP. 3 kills from Wakadia. Course correct that round.
I can't believe they don't bail. I can't believe they don't run back. You kill Snappy dropping in window like that. You hear 3 players in the B bomb site. You stall for a moment and you still commit in and it works out. They had the bomb in con as well. It could have left. Sure, the B main players are left doing nothing, but you have an empty A bomb site. Aurora just go forward into the depths and they emerge with a round. Big 3K for Wakadia, had a quiet game. No time like that to step up. And it seems like Aurora are just going to storm into a FAMAS on Astralis. That's all that can stop this play. Oh dear.
Not expecting this level of aggression so quickly was Astralis. Neither were the rest of NiP, but that 1 kill on Major on the extremities gives him the advantage heading into this retake. Ujak's going to extend that even further. Good for 1 more. Xantares caught out in the open. It's only WOXIK left. AK retrieved, but he's got a gnarly task ahead of him. WOXIK, first man lit up. A lot of damage done, but not meant to be. It's nearly the lineup. Nearly doesn't cut it. NiP will keep that lead.
I love that smoke for Astralis. What a great protocol. He sees the hit coming in. He almost gets caught peeking with nades. He gets it down on top of the stairs. That lets you, even if there's a camera smoke, swing through camera, come out and fight broken with your team. NiP are able to add in the chaos that Aurora had in that first half with that smoke. All pushing through, fighting together, and look at the layers here. Multiple players using that smoke to their advantage. Really nice defensive smoke. Take that one home. Use it yourself. And Shush with an important spray. His team kill was worth every penny to win that round for NiP. Now Aurora, money is a question. NiP are facing double digits. If they win this and break the money right now, NiP are in a great spot to take their opponent's pick in this series. It is within reach. It is within sight. But this explosive Mach 10 Tech 9 charge on B can overwhelm the best of teams.
No, this is like a classic Aurora Hail Mary, right? This is the type of round they'll pull out when they feel like they really have to hit that turning point, get their stride going. And so they were ready for it with 3 players here in the site. WOXIK has added a bit of intrigue with that kill there on a wrinkle. That's opened up a route to a bomb plant here. Could look to get that down now. Doesn't know it, but they are on a timer. Snappy's flanking all the way through main.
It's Molly.
Trying to close the distance is Snappy. Zantares caught and won't even be needed. The captain of NiP, surplus to requirement as Shush farms up the remaining two.
It's crazy just to go on your own, right? Snappy's probably calling, wait, and Shush just goes in, has the option to stop after one. He takes two, he takes the round. NiP absolutely sink Aurora's ship right now. This money is in the bin.
I think if anything, it's worse for Aurora. They didn't see Snappy there because that would have been multiple times over. They see him getting aggressive in middle. Right now, you think about it, he's sat close mid doors in almost all of these rounds, just siphoning info. And he knows at most he's going to have to go up against Maja with how this game's been playing, right? It's been the return to those 1-4s with mid lurks from Maja. And that's a fight that Snappy feels, you know, pretty capable in. And so I think if Aurora knew that Snappy has just been this free in mid, playing deep,
and
they would look to exploit that.
And that's, to be honest, I feel like Aurora moving away from, you know, some of the old strat book, because Zantares has not walked out mid doors once, right? Like, he used to love doing that. We might see it in this round, right? Hero AK, bunch of pistols. It has been pack play, but I would love to see Zantares actually test middle. They don't know what's going on there, like you said. And a second flank, this one not seen. Aurora all hot and bothered right now. 10-7. I mean, I'm never going to call this series after a map, but given NiP is Train speciality, Train is NiP's speciality, if they win Aurora's map pick, they are set up very well. Oh, this is dangerous. Shush, contact play. But it's only pistols, keep that in mind. Ujux can block. He doesn't choose to. Oh my god, what a kill. Wrinkle peeking deep. This is going very wrong right now. He's actually doubled up. Found Snappy in the mid window as well. The Portuguese have to put together a 2v4. That is a really awkward round.
You feel like you have to give this a go.
Tempted, but your money's on the line. If you save, you can fall by. If you die, you lose everything.
Zantares, 2 kills to his name already. Very much the trigger man in this round. Cut down that Snappy mid-lurk as well. This is a chance on the swing, but he's teed up with Cardia, and now they have Arastos pincered.
I don't know what they were doing. They were just sitting behind the smoke. They didn't even, like, were they waiting for the fade? They didn't even try and take space there with the smoke up.
Great stuff from Zantares there. That's exactly what you want to see, right? He was phenomenal in the first half. The rounds that felt the most bitter for him were the ones where he was just kind of left to the wayside. It felt like a lot of the NiP game plan was centered around making life uncomfortable for Zantares, pulling him all around the map. Well, finally, he gets his say, and he did catch Snappy on that aggressive routing through mid again. And that is now, you know, 3-4 times over. They've seen that mid aggression from Snappy. So this is more info for Aurora to work with on this T side. It's also a hero AK coming through in kind of dire straits for Aurora to keep this map alive.
Zantares peak baby wrinkles now learned. Just holding down water, and Zantares crouching in. Gets that crucial headshot. 3 kills to win the round. And all of the worry, averted now. Wow. So clean. NiP are in trouble. 3 M4s, they do fall by.
And I think Snappy's finally caught Zantares' attention here in mid. I think this is the round where he wants to try and fight him and take some of this mid space back for Aurora. It's taken them a while to piece this all together.
As a CT molly, so it's not going to do too much.
Still, Zantares wants this. Oh, but Snappy's going to close it out.
Yikes.
And that is a huge blow to Aurora.
That was an ugly shot from Zantares. Not been seeing that today.
After a 3K tear on a hero AK.
Oh my god. He doesn't know when to stop, does he? One wasn't enough. He wanted everything. But it was so early in the round, Aurora have not picked their destination. Now the bomb slinks back to B, spotting that aggression, and in fact, not doing anything about it. Wrinkle gets his kill. He doesn't overcommit. Seeing the bomb's enough info. Wrinkle doubles up, fighting back to Con. You can have the bomb. We'll take the round. Thank you very much. 3 M4s in this one. The mid-swing late is punished again.
Oh, the lineup dropped down for Wakadia.
He's scared of A.
He's going to get that one for free. I mean, this is usually the main player, right? That was Wakadia trying to be slick with it, trying to be smart and get ahead of Arosdos. Ends up playing right into his hands, but with Woxic on the line. Southpaw versus the Sweet Rice. He departs the angle, has to start to consider other options.
There's no kit. In the smoke, playing the time. I think it's done. Oh, he's open. He is open to Woxic. Even if that molly doesn't stop him, Woxic runs him down and wins the round. Wikadia's 3K, not in vain. Maybe shot in the back, but Woxic saves the day here for Aurora. And that was a 5v3, Harry. Or, sorry, a 4v2?
Yeah. When they double swung in through dark, that's exactly it.
Snappy traded, then Wrinkle got 2. Oh, disastrous round to lose.
And Wrinkle is the type of player who starting to see, loves a re-peak, loves to kind of throw himself into engagements. When it works, it looks sick. The first 2 were really nice. And in that fight on the drop down, you're supposed to have the edge. It's not even like it's a bad engagement for them to take. But it did feed a crazy lineup to Wakadia. Up until that Hero AK round from Xantares, there was kind of no question. NiP were the ones in the driver's seat, even though they're on the harder half. They'd had every solution. They'd had some really nice reads over the Aurora kind of protocols on this T side. Same in that first half. But now it feels like things have changed. These rounds are getting increasingly clean for Aurora. That's some money made finally up against the Eco. 5 alive to pad out these bank accounts, give themselves some staying power at 10-all. And they have NiP on the ropes in terms of the money. Aurora are the ones in the power position.
Mid completely open. A smoke down and they leave. Do Aurora threaten that fact? Fake in middle. And a reaction forced here. NiP feel like they're losing space because the util lands. They take a main. Proper exec to take it back. NiP have to respect that molly smoke combo. And, well, Wakadia won't respect a thing. Runs through the Molotov. Finds a little cubby in between the two and takes a kill in the smoke. 5-on-4 is a perfect storm to just hit this site as a pack.
I know Arosdos is here.
Oh!
He's only going to get out with 1, and these rotates are a long way away. NiP's best option is saving. And that's because of where this money's at on the CT half. So Aurora, that 1 kill through the smoke. Snappy spotted in the kill feed. No, at that point, there's only 1 more man to get through in the A-hold.
And what a devastating way if this map just slips through NiP's fingers right at the end. But that Hero AK round absolutely had its ramifications. And a couple of mistakes in man advantages. It's feeling like the Spirit match yesterday.
Terrorists win.
Yeah, NiP are also burdened by a few of these rounds where it feels like they've done everything right that round there, right? Their first departure from playing mid really all game. They lent into a AA setup. They had 2 players in the right spot. Smoke spam kind of ended the hope of the round. In the first half, you had that T-side call where they get the exact reaction that they wanted, but then they failed to stick the landing. They had the 4v2 where Wakadia decimates them on the drop down.
Yeah.
There's been all these moments where NiP feel like they could have and maybe should have put this game to bed already. But Xantares has kept the lights on, and now the rest of Aurora are here.
Aurora just doing same util mid every round, whether or not they take it. Here comes that. Oh, no, Molly. Gonna crawl in. Snappy's in the corner. Full flash. Nothing you can do, buddy. Xantares wins it this time around. Arostos up close. May not be expected, but he's committed in this position. And Maja has no issue dealing with him. It's Wrinkle or it's Aurora on map point here in the A site.
A man who loves a re-swing with his weapon of choice. Well, it's a target-rich environment for Wrinkle. First shot lands onto Maja. That's the low HP captain gone for Aurora. Still, Wrinkle is the only man that can make a difference. Follow-up shot finds Wakadia.
Still a lurker. And they might be thinking about saving right now. It's so unrealistic. That smoke is only halfway through and Wrinkle is out of there. Even his safety is not guaranteed. Woxic with the read, and Aurora getting rid of the big ticket item this late in the game sets them up to shut it down on their map pick.
Seeing Woxic there only adds to the disappointment. You now know it was a 2v2 in the site. And I mean, we have all the info, right? We can see on the X-ray, the post plants for Aurora actually weren't that good to try and cover main. There would have been more chances for Wrinkle there, but you just don't know quite how winnable that crazy 2v3 was. Now the AWP removed, you're dead on. They lose their big ticket item. Aurora with 2 chances to get this game over the line. Oh, and bro, like, you know, that 1v3 from Xantares wasn't, not 1v3, sorry. That 3K hero AK from Xantares was a real turning point in this game. It hasn't just kind of uplifted the spirits of Aurora, but you can tell the info they've taken from it with how often now they've looked to exploit Snappy in mid. A position they just weren't aware of throughout the first, 5-6 rounds of this second half. And now with remarkable consistency, they've looked to take this first fight in middle.
They've still managed to buy an AWP, which is a sigh of relief for NiP at least. Wrinkle in middle as the rifles have just been destroyed by utility.
I mean, this is the adaptation for NiP, right? But a missed shot for Wrinkle. The result remains the same. It's another opener for Xantares in mid.
He sometimes just doesn't feel too patient, right? Like he's always trying to look for something else. Like he's checking both left and right angles there. If he just remains on his angle, he's going to get the fight he wants. But it feels like so often we see Wrinkle wanting a bit more, a bit too much. And he will be punished by a dry swing from Xantares. Welcome to the club. 22-12. Xantares came to play today. And Wakadia, got to talk about his resurgence on this T side because he had a really slow start to this game, but he's had his impact. He had his big 3K. He's been getting some entries, so missed this one. Missed this one completely. It might still come back delivered to him.
Missed it 3 times over.
Yeah, it couldn't really be worse timing. There's still the chance.
Oh, there it is.
Sorry, Snappy. Might not be ready for more, but they get the spot. Wakadia hits a shot, and Aurora, just like that, knocked down this map.
Yeah, NiP came into this with a game plan to try and test the limits of Aurora. It certainly pushed them the distance, but in the end, Aurora were able to piece together this puzzle. And NiP gets sent packing from Aurora's home map. They've got to hope that they can turn this one around on their specialized pick of Train up next, as Aurora will stomp them out when all is said and done on Anubis.
Yes, once again, Aurora winning Anubis, but, you know, a little bit labored.
Favorite home maps going head-to-head. We had Anubis just moments ago. NiP able to push Aurora the distance, but Aurora still picking up the win on their home map. Well, now we head to NiP's specialized train pick, getting it in first whenever they can. You saw them push Spirit to the very limits on this map just yesterday. So now we see how Aurora will fare.
Yeah, very interesting. You feel like this is going to go 3 maps, but Aurora have a special trick up their sleeve. They have Xantares in great form, and that proved to be too much of a problem back on Anubis late in the game. Him and Wakadia winning some crucial rounds. Spamming the windows and almost catching NiP on the cross, but they crouch below and they head to B. Gonna have to be a retake if they hit this B bomb site, but we have a 5 Kevlar buy for Aurora. It's not the most common at this level. You often see something supplementary. This is the same pistol we saw from NiP against Spirit. The smoke, the molly, and the run down the ramp. The Molotov will miss, though, and Wakadia feasts with 2 quick kills in the site. There's a lot of players here right now. Jota pulled back, but he's pulled... his head pulled off, rather. 2 on 2 now. Bomb planted, and again, no kit.
Went looking for Magic, but they didn't see a second player. Ooh, and so this backstab
right below him. Oh, he didn't check.
will get accounted for. Wrinkle with the spot, and now Xantares knowing about. They spotted him over in CT.
Yeah, impossible.
He can't pick this one up. So even though it's a real nice start for Aurora there in the pistol, Wrinkle goes on a tear. Those were some clean shots with the P250. Swift double kill to kind of level the playing field and bring NiP back into it.
3 on 5 after Wakadia's double in B, and that's with the miss Molotov for NiP. None of this matters. Good start for Wrinkle in a must-win game, really, for NiP. If they have aspirations of playoffs, going 1-2 with this inexperienced roster, it's going to be very difficult. NiP trying to drag us to a third of Inferno, running out into the A site in this second round. They've actually got Shush out, and no one knows right now. Caught completely by surprise, but a bit of a bungled opportunity there. Shush, through this smoke will do. Through this smoke will do. For 2. Through the smoke again. They haven't even seen their opponents. Oh. Joe's out of there as NiP converts. Oh, you're dead. Keeping their AKs and removing that FAMAS. It's going to be a nice free round as a result. Just continues to line it up.
Back to 3, so smoke.
On the wall bangable surface.
So bad.
Oh dear, I said free round. I'm starting to regret my decision. Oh dear, and they are regretting going into this yard. Wakadia anymore. Looking for a third off the Deagle, is caught by Shush out pop.
It is a bit of a favorite pastime of NiP in these eco rounds to run it out A, and I feel like this happened to them literally yesterday when they were facing off against Spirit.
Oh my god, you're gonna plant this?
Oh my goodness! Cover better be good!
No!
HOTU doubles! And Arostos dead! Woxic finishes the job he started earlier.
Oh dear. I can't...
And yeah, I've seen that pitfall before for NiP.
Oh, I can't believe they stick that. Like, I know, I mean, we have the info, but Aurora have nothing to lose in pushing through a smoke in that position. And snapping on attack. I mean, whenever you lose
like
a tilt round,
carbon copy round of how they lost this to Spirit. Like Donk did that from that position with the Deagle backed up to red and got a third. You know, sure, Wakadia didn't get the third, but already he'd found a 5v3 for his team. Frustration setting in for Snappy.
That's a tilter.
Not the round you wanted to give away.
No, just you're meant to get those free ones, right? And now look, and it just ruins your economy.
Here's the other
thing they bought 4 AKs.
Yeah. Not only were they all in there, but I think the thing that's like really going to stick out to someone like Snappy right now is, bro, every game that NiP have lost, it's been by like 1 round, right? They have been rounds away in the last 2 series they've played from winning maps, and suddenly, you know, thinking about it through that lens, giving up that type of round is really, really important. If this ends up coming down to a 1-round game, you're going to think back to the anti-eco you threw away.
And it's always anti-eco, isn't it? It's always the bloody antis. Okay, Wrinkle spraying, and that just stops him. Fires right back. Oh, trying to test B. Jota does not let that happen. I mean, that was even a way in yesterday when NiP were able to catch Zontix's legs on B, get a bit of damage off. Jota plays it very safe. Boom. How do you like them apples? NiP setting up for an execute here. Centaurus and Jota.
That's a pretty keen trade out of Shush. And this will allow a plant to come through for NiP. But can they sweeten the deal? Arostos has been spotted getting aggressive. That's the 1 AK. But right now it's all about the Mac Daddy Shush.
Father.
Oh, Snappy joins the fray, and Shush will be there as the perfect complement. Shush loves trains and train as a map. The conductor. That's what I might start calling it. The conductor. Yeah. The conductor will see you now. 9 and 2 to open this up. 3K on the Mac 10.
Crazy impact. Limp retake for Aurora, right? Like, Xantares has no smoke, I guess, for the molly. His teammates smoke it. They don't really get any space, though. They just stay behind that back train. Oh, through the molly. Wakadia had a warning. It wasn't enough. The conductor. Oh, my God. Dude, he's unstoppable.
Ticket to ride. He's putting Aurora on the bus replacement service. To Basingstoke.
Oh dear, poor guy.
Shush, meanwhile, he's going straight to Glazingstoke. These train games from him are great.
That's one way to play it.
Only a mastermind such as the conductor would come up with this position.
Triple Ivy, Xantares is still here. Look, I don't want to say they were going to lose this round, but Xantares is still here. He goes back. And that timing works wonders for NiP at 40 seconds to walk out Ivy. NiP are not afraid to use this position very late in the round. They were doing it against Spirit as well. And it seems to work very well for them. It's off often just assumed to be clear. No one's considering. No one's looking. Woxick's dead.
This could still get weird, though. Both players are here. Shush isn't in any position to help, and they're getting thinned out.
Oh.
Snappy was kind of acting like a mule as well, just carrying this AWP to take it out of the round at the end. Now this is his weapon of choice here, but he will nail the shot.
Very well done. Dinked as well. Whew. Could have gone wrong in a variety of ways, but NiP stick the landing. 4-1 lead on this T side, looking very good. This is where they get a lot of rounds as well. T side, Aurora eternally struggle with the T half on this map. It's their defense that's actually so solid. Sure, NiP are playing weaker opposition online, etc., but they still have very good win percent on T. Now Aurora broken. Hello.
Cardia Deagle.
Oh, unlucky.
Nice one, Wrinkle.
He moved. Double entry, goes back to throw nades, of course.
Scariest nade position, as they've learned.
Don't like it at all. One minute and the call is just chill, guys. Freeze. You have a 4v3, make them paranoid. Maybe they push. Maybe they gamble B. It is Aurora. Pop smoke in.
I like that. You haven't had info about B the entire round, so for all you know, there could be players in Pop. It's Woxick at the red trainer they've got to be worried about. Still, these sightlines open at range. A lot of damage found.
Not like this.
They're softened up. And these MP9s are going to hit hard now. The kills found straight away. Xantares gonna have to get up to some mad trickery here, and he can't quite find his footing. 3 guns trained on him. And the ace for Wrinkle.
Under the radar.
Started the round off with the double. Goes on to close it.
Very nice round out of the Wrinkler. Oh, didn't see that.
Felt like he would have had to have flicked, right? Because he changed off of his POV and where he was holding, right as Wakadia was kind of moving in for the kill.
Are they forcing or what?
No, they're not. That was Eco. That was an Eco. It's just very hard to win them for NiP right now.
Yeah. He's right to have felt a bit confused. There were MP9s and stuff, right?
Sure.
So.
But majoritarily armorless.
I think adding to the confusion was the fact that like another SMG got picked up from Snappy's body.
Yeah.
Straight out through main. Ujerks makes a play.
Oh,
that's really awkward. Wakadia falls off the red train, kind of does that like little stunted surf on the side to extend the fall even longer. And just gets offered up as a free kill.
It's a nice flank, but if NiP just keep going forward, they're going to avoid it.
NiP are a fan of the slowdown though, right? And so even in these types of moments, knowing that there's nades on the smoke, there's rotates coming in, they take the pace out of it. It's a check for Wrinkle to flush Major out of the back line.
Hey, did it against Magix yesterday as well. NiP were very ready for those flanks. Hello. Poking out. Xantares won't let Arostos last in that cubby. But no more. NiP's slowdown paying off. The kills come to them. Good trade work. Wrinkle having a game right now. He's a rifler after all. Swaps off the AWP, and he doesn't want it back. 3 kills from Wrinkle. Put NiP up to 6. This game is just swimming by. Interesting that Wrinkle just gave away the AWP, maybe because we're going into a low econ round. He wants to get those entries. That's a sick combo. Nades on the molly. Fine with Cardia. Yeah, for that reason, they think no one made it, but Major had a better spawn. Doesn't matter. Choo-choo. Shush with 2. And even though NiP get caught off guard, it seems like they will convert on this anti-eco. Aurora getting desperate.
You would just hate to have to fight Shush in this position. He looks so comfortable with all the angles.
They're good fights.
He's hit a bunch of these like 180 flicks on the pop flank. Even there, taking the timing to fight down ramp first before going back and dealing with the players in pop.
Oh. I mean, this is a specialty map for NiP. Absolutely showing. Every team's got to be careful facing NiP on train. Shush and Wrinkle domineering results. 13 and 12 kills each.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting that NiP are this good on train. And I think speciality map like is the way to phrase it. I don't think you can say anything like, oh, they're the best or one of at this point. Like, you haven't seen them versus the depth of opposition required, but they took Spirit the distance on this map and arguably should have even won this
should
map.
have won that,
Now they're decimating Aurora. All right, Madra and Zantares do have something to say about it. Couple of kills from them quickly. Woxic in the kill feed as well, extending this advantage for Aurora. Arostos can't sniff Wakadia out of that aggro position. And even though it's Shush, he's at 10 points of health, boxed in. Jota's gone all the way through. Oh, he's ready for it, bro. He did check that. Still, Jota remained tucked, played a timing instead. But just for the fact that they are looking this good on train, I'm also in the NiP camp hoping the VRS situation for them start seeing them at more of these events, because it would be cool, you know, catching NiP versus an even wider pool of talent on this map.
I think they've probably already shot up just from their one win, but I think they don't want to go out 1-3. That would be underwhelming, and I don't know how, you know, I don't know how many they gain. It's still going to be losing some points. So pressure's on to actually get a couple of legit LAN wins here. Oh, the smoke just over the top, boosted for Zantares. He's going to get his kills, 2 of them, and they're out of there.
I think they were even debating recommitting to the boost for a second, but fade on out. And a 5-on-3 off the back of that boost at B upper.
I think one thing is clear for NiP. Even if this tournament doesn't go well, right, and they go 1-3 and they go out and they don't get as many points as maybe they wanted, they're not stopping grinding, right?
No. And I mean, also, the other thing that's just nice is I think you see the potential with NiP. I don't think it's fully realized yet, but they're a growing team. And like we've said, in kind of every game that they've played, or at least once in every series, it's come down to a matter of 1 or 2 rounds. Hell, even the VP game, they could have 2-0'd.
Yeah.
That one also came down to a couple of rounds on Dust 2.
Okay, little drop for the AWP. This could hit for Wrinkle. Let's see if he's got the mustard. Oh.
No, he does not.
More like mayonnaise. Had no kick to it.
Snappy arriving later, playing catch-up. Ooh, that's clean. Saucy stuff from Snappy, but he can't go any further.
Yeah, NiP relishing in the opportunity to get a couple more rounds on this T side, but Aurora seeming to wake up a little bit. Nice double entry for Zantares, finds 3.
Tag pause called in for NiP. They don't want to feel like they let Aurora back in at the end of the half here, right? 7-1 in your favor. You don't love that they took the last 2 and they took them cleanly, but you want to try and get back to the grind now. In that last round, you kind of fall prey to an Aurora opening move. For the most part, they've been, you know, the ones kind of waiting to receive on this CT half. That was them changing the nature of the round and making a play early. Curious what this does for NiP. way. At least doesn't look like some crazy pace change or anything out of the gate.
Yeah, back to Ivy. That's nice. Haven't seen them here in a while. Run boosting the orb. Saw Madra on the cross. He saw them, and they just leave. They know it's enough to keep him occupied for a little bit of time. Meanwhile, Triple B with the bomb. Woxic on the line, ready and waiting. Yeah, shush. Lucky to be alive. That's only one player seen. It's not like Aurora can do too much with that info. Main taken is huge.
Well, also with the run boost spotted from Madra at the start of the round and then the instant rotate away, this feels like it was NiP's game plan from the get-go, right?
Yeah.
Just that presence of seeing the run boost, you know there's two players over towards Ivy, or at least there were. So Madra kind of has to stick around here and watch a dead position on the map.
And there's no flank, there's no second rotate. It's only one guy on B. Joseph's got to be a rock right now.
He's just going to go through the motions, kind of fall back a little bit here. Doesn't want to run the risk of going down, leaving his team in a 4v5. Instead, he waits for them to move in, hoping he'll have teammates nearby to help him, but they don't get there in time. Madra will answer back with one, but low on health and in a 3-on-4. Still a real rough spot for Aurora to be in. Arosdos holding on to this flank should seal the deal on this round. McCarty has no room to play.
It's already done.
And Woxic's trapped out over at the spawn. Oh, that's clean.
One thing we've noticed twice now on these B hits is Xantares never has a smoke. He's always used his, and so when NiP do their B hit, they Molotov connector, and Xantares can't go through and help his teammate out, right? And that's made better by the way that that round starts, right? Typically, Aurora would be 2B in that position with the whole map quiet, but they're scared from the Ivy play that you mentioned. And so with Xantares having no smoke, Jota's on his own. There's no pressure. NiP can take space and can flush out Jota. So some small details are making all the difference here for NiP as they charge into A again. These rounds don't often work, but they get snappy behind red. It's a great position. Madra has no idea. Sorry, Wicardia running in. Oh, snappy. Damn. Just clean up. Him and Shush. Dane's on duty. And dirtily done leaves Woxic in an unwinnable one. Ouch. 9-3, NiP. A bloody good half.
Yeah, and doing good as well on the timeout they call in right at the tail end of the half just to try and stop that regaining of rounds from Aurora, right?
Yeah.
They went on that 2-round streak with some dominant rounds in there. That was where you had the call for the switch up, kind of the Ivy fake into the B hit works wonders, get Snappy back in control over the game. And NiP go on to put up a very, very good T-half. It's all spearheaded by the conductor himself. That guy right there, Shush, 18-5. And a little smile on Snappy's face for the man who was raging a lot at the start of this.
Yeah.
Feeling a little tense with how, you know, they give up every now and again these rough-looking rounds in games that always feel close. There were some frustrations, but he is very, very happy with how his squad have been able to deliver on the remainder of this half. Not many missteps for NiP. Where have I seen this one before?
Double Ivy push again. NiP just running the same pistols. This leaves you really late when it comes in B, though. Pretty sure Spirit won this round when they just came out B like this. Okay, so one flanking. Arostos comes back, but the whole map is quiet. We all know where this is going. Or do we? Pop or B? Aurora clear both. NiP gets set up into the site, committed. Ouch.
Clean entry for Jota. Only 2 players left in the site for NiP, but they'll hold on. Shush just can't set a foot wrong. Finally overextends, and it's Madja to collect. Where did that come from? The captain turns heads. Can Nips do the same? Down the ramp, in with a chance, but Woxic decapitates him, and Aurora pull up with a pistol, hand delivered by Madja. Crazy quick 3K. That round falls through Nip's fingers before they even realize what's happening.
All right, I still think, I'm going to say it, there's no excuse to lose this game, Nip. They absolutely have to close it, right? They've got to bring us to a third. Pistol round in the pocket of Aurora gives them a bit of momentum, but I'd love to see a force from Nip. And there they go. Can they stick the landing? Ujox with a CZ75. It's been a while. Welcome back, old friend. Let's see how it fares. Mac-10 running at it. Not exactly
horribly
fair.
if you were to get.
Yeah. Oh, he saw another. Hello. Wrinkle pops around the corner with a double. Okay.
But on borrowed time, Jota will find him.
It's a good scrap for Nip, but feels like it may have run out. I say that. Shush is still alive. And at 21 and 6, you just can't put this guy down. Flank contained. Shush resets. He has time to win this one.
Conductors roaming the train, checking tickets. And Aurora trying to beat the fare. They don't want to have to pay. But will Shush make them? With the D, there's the backstab as Antares gets active, flanks on Shush, and lays him to rest.
That's why you don't sit still in the post plant, right? You always want to re-clear, you always want to find more info. Check more timings. There are always timings available for flanks, for players to get into silly positions. So if you stay moving, you stay ahead of the game. Scary round, but one that Aurora do convert, and Nip take an eco with some grenades.
Oh,
Shush.
Perez versus Shush. Stalemate.
Draw.
Aurora really hoping that NiP force a play through on the low econ round just to give them an edge. They're holding this default still. They don't have a lot of info to go off of. You've seen one guy beat. That doesn't tell you a whole lot, and so they'll start to explore a little bit through Pop with Jota probing. He's seen 2.
Oh, Stars close is scary. It's only a USP though. Oh, and they're going B anyway. Shush from afar still takes one with him. He's just KPR God.
He gets so unlocked on this map, and oh my god, now they're going back in a snappy and Pop, but he can't quite find Wicardia. That's rough.
Should be fine now.
Aurora, though, stick the landing on this. Well navigated, they do good to dodge the stack twice over.
Don't tell me Wicardia's going to start having a late game activation. He got his eco kills. Had, again, another quiet map. He did an Anubis until the final few, where he stepped up big.
The whole story for NiP have been these close games that it feels like they should win. Get away from them now. Look, we haven't seen the CT rifle yet, so not too worried, but it's on trend for pitfalls of this NiP team. I mean, we saw how, like, that one misplayed first rifle round on Anubis ended up costing them a string of rounds. If that happens here, Aurora right there, chomping at the bit to overtake you. And I mean, right now, Shush is playing phenomenally. Wrinkle has had some great moments too, but like the rest of the gang haven't really been super involved in the conversation. Ujax and Snappy have been serviceable, but Aristos has had a lot of swings and misses in this game. He had that one nice shot in Pop Dog, but that's the only thing that springs to mind.
Ah, there's that window smoke. Comes in, really constricts Aurora in this round. It's going to slow everything down. Can't take the B control. Pop taken, B ramp pressured.
Just gave the last of his util to Snappy, so I feel like he wants to take a peek here, wants to make a play, and that's because Aristos is ready to react. Snappy's also close by on ramp.
Oh,
Smoke deployed. Aristos sees a lot of bad guys. Snappy's going to be the first to move in. Farms a double, lives to tell the tale, but just caught getting down the ramp. That's all the util gone from B. 2 kills out of the captain.
Pretty good trade out for NiP. Look at the space they've got in this round. They still have 2B. Pop is the gap, but there's a big flank coming in main. So even by the time Aurora get into A, Wrinkle's going to be right behind them.
Wrinkle's going B on the flank.
Oh dear, that's a little late, but they can just play retake, right? Ujax doesn't need to commit here. If he can get out after one, they give it up.
They're walking up close. Okay, finally gets the spot. Cardia goes a little wider. They don't know about Madja in this very forward position, and they're going to try go back B, but that's where Wrinkle's decision to flank the B side has just saved NiP. Madja is in a powerful position, but Aristos doesn't think so. And with the game he's having, he's checking every corner. So
true.
Madja will get located. An important round for NiP to pick up, and in the fashion they do it, 4 alive at the end. That at least dodges the worry of this early reset in the second half.
Yeah, that's one of the set plays that NiP like to do, right? They're just the pop crunches. They have a lot of util behind this one, and they dedicate 4 players to that play, with Snappy and Shush pushing B upper and lower, and 2 players in pop as well. But the shame for Aurora is I guess they felt they were so committed starting 5 upper B that they don't want to, go back. They don't want to ignore, the fact that they've been blocked out of this position. They want to fight, and it's not a nice fight with the amount of angles NiP are coming from. So we started that round on the back foot. Snappy, great double too. It's getting a bit desperate for Aurora, looking like they want to B-rush. Oh, saw him close. Surely not. Julie's armor. Snappy news, committed either way. Couldn't get out. Now B execute is tantalizing, but there's 2 CTs here, Shush and Aristos.
Full blind, still gets out with 1, but that might not be enough. Shush, strength here, usually in his multi-kills, just ability to stay alive. Picked at the first hurdle, picked after the first man. Wakadia storms the board, on for the ace. The saving grace of Aurora has another late activation from Wakadia, blesses this T side.
Yeah, what a hunt on that B-bomb site. Aurora very aware of the positions NiP play on their default. Aristos at the very back there, flash peeked with no info, and Shush unfortunately caught in the open. He does take 1, but as said, not enough. Sadly, was not in cover in time as Aurora ran through the smoke. The more we see this map, the more B executes we do see. Starting to get very abused, just with how hard it can be to get into this quad outer site. Rather take the 5v2 at B. And there's some really good util that teams are throwing just to get themselves out. Final timeout for Aurora. They are nowhere near out of the woods. But all in all, it's been a good start to the T side. Just one blemish with that 4-man horse crunch.
I mean, the last few rounds, Aurora have been putting a lot of attention over towards upper. And as you say, the one round that NiP were able to pick up thus far on this CT side was where they played for that upper control. I wonder if that's something Maj is expecting to make another appearance here. They just had the timeout. You saw him talking a hell of a lot. Seemed like it was him and Xantares having a bit of a dialogue. So Xantares is dispatched once again to try and clear upper, but NiP completely leave this side of the map open. They want to take away the main control. I'll get ODDIK set up here. Wrinkle left to hold down the pop line, and he's actually creeping up on the AWP.
Ooh, dangerous. Alone.
Seen some moments where Wrinkle does this and will get caught by a second guy just playing trade, but the spacing for Jota won't allow that. The AWP is ready for time, and Wrinkle bites down for a double.
Really bad spacing. Like, where is the trade? It's a great question, Harry.
That's where, you know, the change of putting Wrinkle there is nice, though. Up until now, they've largely been fighting Snappy, who's been on, like, SMGs and M4s, so you're trying to not get lined up and caught on each other against the rifle. The AWP comes as a bit of a surprise to Aurora.
It's just weird because he gets a kill and then Jota doesn't like hard reswing. He like backs up like the AWP is already ready. But if you're going to take that fight, you have to take it straight away. Smoke fade, denied, bomb loose, and round dusted. 5 up for NiP, back to their winning ways. And it all did feel like a matter of time on this map after a dominant first half. A stressful series for Maja, barely eking out a win on Anubis. And now maybe running out of track here on Train. We're looking at Inferno Decider.
I mean, that feels very much like, you know, pause comes in, you're expecting the round to change from a B-focused game. They left that side of the map open. And it was the right decision. Aurora did try and change things on the back of that timeout.
Lots of grenades. They really thought that was an A-rush coming. But it was same situation. Aurora just blocked. What do they do? They're 5 here. Strangled. There's not even a push off of this as well. NiP change it. The conditioning is going to make Aurora very scared of this position. But they don't really have the util to clear this out. They have 3 flashes, 1 smoke, a nade. They just have to be execute. It's not going to be much of an execute. This could go very wrong, very quick. Xantares going to flash him through.
At this point, you've heard that flash. You hear the footsteps clearing pop. NiP should have a pretty clear picture as to what's transpiring here. 2 players in the B site.
Pick positions.
He gets caught out in no man's land. Him and Shush were trying to readjust, and so they will get run through. Felt like they were in 2 minds about how they wanted to play that. Jota spotted creeping up, but he still tries to follow through on this aggression. Hides in the smoke. Arosdos on a reload. Jota decides not to pressure. He hopes that just how long he's been here, the fact that Spam didn't find him, that's enough to conceal his movements, but eventually Arosdos hits his mark. Xantares, can he be the difference maker? It's him and Maja side by side, both pinned in on the train here. Arosdos is bottom of the board for NiP, and so double swung by the front men of Aurora. He'll get taken out. Back and forth we go. If this continues, NiP's still on track to win this game. Is this where we see Aurora start to streak some more rounds together and close it up?
They need to be more careful on this B site because every time Aurora come B, they've run through the smoke, right? They don't respect it because they have flashes, and it's nice to run through the smoke because your legs don't get shown to a back Thomas player, for example. But there, NiP are playing 2 back site, and only then do they realize, like, yo, I need to move. One of us needs to move. Snappy's in the open. They need to pick their positions better when this smoke is down. That is their opportunity to get set up. And Aurora have broken the timing, sure, but that's still both times. Same thing. Huge entry kill here for Xantares, actually winning the pop fight. It's been something NiP have come up with a lot. Oh, didn't clear Olaf. Snappy, even though he's blind, gets away with a kill. Woxic, quick shot up close, and the AWP comes in for NiP. They trade rounds again. And like you said, that's a winning recipe. 12-8. 4 chances to finish the job. And this will be maybe the worst buy yet for Aurora.
Yeah, and that's kind of been the biggest difference in these victories is for Aurora, they've all kind of hit like a Pyrrhic victory. You get out with 1 or 2 players surviving every time you're doing it. NiP, meanwhile, the rounds they win are kept very, very clean. They've got some of this residual money. They've been able to keep that pressure on.
Ooh. Okay.
Push with the trade.
It's fine.
Now is to try and stop the spillover through ramp, and Aurora decide not to pressure.
Yeah, it's just cycling this AK again. We've been here before. It's a good angle for Wrinkle because he can survive, hit or miss. It will be the latter, but a re-smoke is fine. Aurora are blocked, both sides. And it's feeling like it's going to get stalled out here as UJUX takes main as well. Aurora have not even really played towards A main in this T side. It's been AWP hop or B. Haven't touched Ivy. Not one Ivy player this half.
Well, Aristos is now decided to make his play through Ivy. That might roll out a red carpet for Aurora to explore this option.
Okay.
Bare minimum, Woxic's going to go grab that rifle. Now looking a bit better armed. NiP worse for wear. And the whole map dark. You don't really know what this kill in Ivy means. Woxic's going to keep the pressure on and keep Wrinkle in this position.
Oh, he feels like it's a fake, and he's right. Woxic is reflashing it. That might keep Wrinkle in position as the B hit comes in. Shush can win the game.
The conductor has to be the one to stop the trains. And so here he is in the position to do exactly that. 1 for Shush. Can't find the planter. Wakadi is going to trade him. And Aurora have that bomb down in a 3-on-2. A 2v2 in the site itself. Do NiP go fishing and see if there's a reason to go for this, because Woxic is not in the conversation, not in the picture. Wakadia had to hit that shot.
Uh-oh.
It's another multi-kill round to carve this out for Wakadia.
Wrinkle is feeling it at least, but there's no saving this situation. He had to run. And again, Wakadia just trying to keep him in the game. Time after time.
Terrorists win.
NiP can just about buy. Concessions must be made, but all in all, 3 more shots.
It's rough though for Aurora. We were saying every round they win, they're getting out with like 1, 2 players surviving. They had a chance to get out with 3 there, but they go for the high risk, high reward play. If they did kill Wrinkle, this wouldn't be a buy for NiP. They were focusing on the future, but it has hamstrung them in this round. Losing those extra players means they come into this with some MAC 10s up against the full buy from NiP.
You're just hoping it's these 2 rifle stars of Aurora that can activate. Woxic has been a shell in this map. Oh dear, Magic can get core throw utility.
It's a very shallow hold.
Double up is a great bait though. They're not going to be ready for the second player. Shush. Oh, he gets 2. No way. And you have no clue Snappy's here.
Badge around the corner. Nades were pulled. They didn't know, and so Snappy looking to be their undoing. Zantares left in the 1v4. Pincered from all sides. He can't do a thing. NiP keep up Their hot look on train, once more spearheaded by the conductor. Shush putting on a clinic. Him and Snappy combining to get this one over the line. NiP Aurora rages on, and once more Inferno.
Kept on Inferno. That being said, I think this one might actually be quite fun. NiP have been playing this one a lot. They've got some things in the bag. You know, last series, the two Brazilian squads, neither of them were big fans of the map. But yeah, NiP, this has also been one of their sleeper picks recently in their online grind. They talked about how hard it was to even get to Astana, how you have to fight through 300 teams in an open qualifier, and you can't lose one series on your road to qualification. Well, they didn't. They're here, and they're looking to show up against this Turkish squad. Aurora snuck through on Anubis, ran out of tape on train, and now we go to Inferno, hoping that Woxit can get reactivated. Very quiet last map. A 4v4, as Richard said. Who's going to stand the test of time here? Xantara's dinked low. They just gamble on this A site.
Makaria anti with dualies. Creeping in the mid-fight for a match. I just wanted the info, right? It's pretty resource-intensive having 4 players in top mid like this. Did leave him in the prying eyes of NiP. Wrinkle and co get out through the apartment. It's just him and Arosdos. The plant is for short, but it's not punished. Wrinkle even manages to make it into the pit. 2 kills to his name already. Loves a fight. Sometimes doesn't know when to stop, and he'll keep taking them out towards short.
Yeah.
Madger and Wakadi are able to break through.
I mean, he has the P2K, right? He feels like he wants to thin the herd early while he's got a nice engagement, but just no rest for the wicked. Aurora nail the headshots. And those Julies come through to take a pistol round on this CT side. Madger cooking. Rubbing his hands together. They're back. Good energy.
Yeah, safe to say he's trying to bring some excitement.
Ooh.
Oh,
my God.
Nade hitting Arosdos and slowing him all the way down actually gave Xantares the time to back up.
Yeah.
And then delete him.
Could have swung and just killed him, I think, but was slowed down by the nade. Didn't like his odds. Madger right below the boost. Are you really checking this? Flash over, dodged, and deleted by Snappy. They jump the corner. There's no trade available. That's a desperate play. Snappy's just doing it on his own. They don't know about the third player. Wrinkle bails them out. This is a bit of a mess, but NiP have made it through for now until Wicardia runs a smoke.
Both these guys are really low on health. Jota's also fast flank up through Banana. He's got good timing on this. Resmoke goes down in CT is another reason for him to give this a go. He will have the path in. And he knows his timing's good. Collects that kill on a Snappy and is ready for Wrinkle.
Oh,
and Dark who has to get that kill before the nade goes off. It was a race against time for Wrinkle.
Oh, if he naded and didn't re-peek insta, he would have had it. But up in the open, committed and stolen away by NiP's force buy. Big round for Snappy. Entries up B. Oh, God.
Oh, it's really awkward.
God.
Ujak's battling back, but Xantares still putting up numbers. Okay, Snappy, you haven't been given the easiest clutch here. You know it. We know it, and Aurora even know it. Gonna slink on out of there. The rest of his team decimated by the charge through Banana. And the one kill that takes place over in alt mid also gives him a lot of pause here. I don't know where Wakadia could have gotten to.
Mac 10 over AK.
I guess
maybe,
he dies. He doesn't give them the AK.
it.
That's
Yeah, smart. He's going to get peeked. Oh my God.
bloody good try. I tell you what, bloody good try. Had us going for a moment. But it's the decision to regroup for Aurora and actually commit to the mid clear that does them real nice.
I like that. You know, they give up a bomb site, but if they clear mid, they just walk the flank and they get behind Banana and they shoot Snappy in the back. So it's a really safe way of playing that. And you're right, him swapping off the AK, Xantares didn't find it. So actually worked out in limiting Aurora a little bit. NiP buy again. They have to. Trading rounds right now. Aurora, Pandemonium in Banana, going back for some more with 3 here. Grenades go in. NiP have less victims in this position now. Flash to fight this. NiP coming through the smoke. Oh!
Match wrestling back. All alone in this endeavor. Wakadia doesn't have util to help him either. Match is just dumping everything he's got. And Wakadia offers up his body, but lays down his life. Wrinkle with the turnaround. Dinked on the fight up through Banana. I mean, Aurora right here. They may as well see if they're given a reason to believe. Can Jota collect and capitalize on all this damage? MP9 tears through the front man and follows up on a Snappy.
Gotta
2v2. From the 2v4, it's just Arostos left. Back at the site, dead on the swing. Aurora pull up. And they manage to salvage that round. Jota and Woxic do the heavy lifting.
They keep getting caught just in the open in these post plants. They need to be locking into positions more, right? It was Snappy in the previous one that Wrinkle actually won, just swinging out of new box to check coffins. Now it's just trying to take coffins when the flank's in that fast. I mean, NiP all over the place. These post plants have looked shaky. Frustrating rounds to lose when it's whiffed that hard by Wakadia. He looked away thinking he'd already finished that kill. And the run and gun MP9 for Jota is just enough to shut down that 2v4. And so I thought we were going back and forth on Force Spice, and hey, we still are, but Aurora at least stick the landing. A buy that screams frustration for NiP. Want to jump on Aurora while the economy is low, but the weaponry is not. 4 M4s and a FAMAS.
Yeah, much like how, you know, Aurora back on train even had some of these like high risk, high reward rounds. This is NiP's attempt in that very same vein of capitalizing on some of this damage they've done. The bomb plant enticing them to recommit into this. But falling down here gives Aurora a hell of a CT start. So you're hoping that this Hail Mary pays off if you're NiP. Aurora have the read. They've grouped 4 players over here at this A site. NiP right now are walking right into this stack.
Oh, brutal. What a transfer for Xantares, able to get 2 kills despite Snappy jumping that corner. And Wrinkle abandons ship. But Aurora might just catch him. Oh, Wakadia, yeah.
And he has great timing on this flank.
Just walk it. This is Aurora's 4th for sure.
Well missed this timing.
Imagine knows, and he's not overplaying it either.
Not overplaying, but a bomb plant allows NiP to buy again. I don't think it's going to get that far, right? You imagine Wakadia, imagine just swing in tandem. Ooh, don't let him plant! And they will deny it. Magic gets in there just in time.
I think a buy again, even with a plant, would have been a crazy decision, to be honest. Like, you know, you're doing damage, but you just saw 4 rifles for Aurora. You know they can rebuy. So it's probably for the best for NiP. 4-1 though, considering the craziness of the start of this map. Aurora have landed back on their feet, looking for a 5-1 lead against the ODDIKs. What could go wrong?
Main thing here for Aurora is just, you know, even though you've been fine to keep the investments coming through, you haven't had a round to make money yet. This is your round to do exactly that, so you just don't want it to be expensive. That's kind of the bar here. It's a far more passive start for both squads as NiP just kind of talk about the rounds ahead, knowing that with each second wasted, they're getting util out of Aurora anyway, they're extracting value, and they're planning for the rounds in the future. Now comes the time for them to try and look for that damage. They've been so great at finding at the top of the game.
Unlucky.
It seems more like Aurora will get their wish of finally having a cash-making round. Magic collects. And Aurora get that 5-1 after these high-risk, high-reward forces from NiP early.
This is going to be a very hard game for NiP to win, just off the back of how this has begun. It's gone kind of worst-case scenario. You've lost all your money. You've given Aurora a huge wealth, and you're 5-1 down on a T-sided map. A map that they get the majority of their rounds on the T side. And you feel kind of goaded into all these buys, and I don't even necessarily think they were mistakes for NiP, but they didn't pan out. And so you're in a big hole right now in the third map of the series. Feels like it's meant to be for Aurora. 8 rounds from just ending this whole matchup. So NiP have to dig deep and start this match late. And I can't even say you have a read on how this game is going, right? You don't have a read on Aurora right now. They're going to go quick. Falcons-esque round, just fast up long, smoke, mollied, or mollied smoke, and they go through the long one as well. It's a bit of a disaster, isn't it? Arostos has to abandon. He has the bomb. Oh, that's the worst. It's a bit of a bad smoke, so Snappy's going to walk out.
Fair enough. I mean, that's such an invitation.
Oh!
Walks in,
Peace.
makes amends.
Hit that.
And now they know where Wrinkle lies.
Disaster. All 4 on the site. You could go B. This is a wild setup. He could still go B.
No.
Oh wait, they have the bomb.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm crazy.
But, you know, if he could also do
He
magic.
could go B. He could just go B.
yeah, he
you
could
know,
go
he
B.
couldn't win.
I can't disagree with this
No,
statement.
he couldn't win. But if you want save, presumably.
Yeah, you know, that's a bit of a snappy classic. Like, calls just the set play out from spawn.
Yeah.
Mid smokes in, try and brute force the play.
Double for Jota.
You ran into the weakest gun and it kind of chewed you up and then spat you out. This round never gets going for NiP. But this is Astana one for how, you know, they like to play, for the things they usually do to try and bring themselves back into the game. A set piece like that, it falls on deaf ears though, and so you feel like you lost out big time on the rifle round that you've been waiting. You know, first quarter of this game for. Snappy knows.
Yeah.
But this is, you know, you said going into that last round, this is a hard game and this is the worst case scenario. Now this is the actual worst case scenario. The first rifle round you were waiting for gets ripped away from you.
I don't even mind a fast set play. I think that's a nice call, but you're hoping they're triple B, going on the long side, and Jota just shuts it down. And they're ready for the boost. Of course they are. It's Antares and Madra and Ricardi are B. The whole stack, the whole gang. This is also, oh dear. This is also a great map individually for Madra. He has a lot of say on these rotates. He has great utility. He's that guy who's cycling between the 2 sites, bringing the nades around. He's 9-3 right now. When you're playing top banana alongside Zantares, you're going to have a good time. So, him and Zantares locking down this side of the map. Shush trying to lurk apartments. Ain't getting through that door. And NiP can have banana, but they are not getting into this bomb site. Oh, and it hit you. So, jigs up. 7-1 looking like. Impatience. Antares catches them with nades out. Still a trade, but there's more where that came from as Aurora willingly take every fight. This might be a bitter ending for NiP and a feeling of if only we won that game of Anubis, how close it came. And we haven't even really seen a slow default out of NiP. They've not had the opportunity to do so with rifles, with how many of these rounds have been forces, low money. I mean, look at that graphic. Look at how many semi-buys they've had. It's been a disaster. So you almost feel like you have to play a default round now on the T side. But Aurora have got wind in their sails.
Yeah, NiP might have had the conductor on trade, but Aurora know a thing or two about an everlasting Inferno.
Nice.
Quad B stack from the get-go for Aurora, expecting a bit of aggression here. It gets dismantled quickly once that aggression doesn't come through. Jota will leave. Link back up with Woxic on this A side of the map. Wakadia also moving over. Just giving them the foresight that this is a slower start from NiP, not a set call from Spawn.
They've come through the smoke a lot. Oh, the grenade. Could do it again. No connection for Antares. The nade even goes deep. NiP are up ahead of it. They're going to go.
Yeah, the molly action forces them forward, forces them to go for this play. Now they've been re-smoked and they don't take the time and they go through it.
Maybe for the best in a weird way. Everyone was in the site.
It's just what other option do they have, right? They can link back up with Shush, but it's not like he's been in the apartments kind of probing and locking down this side of the map. They've got to take their time clearing angles here. So as they slowly slink back to join him, and B falls completely quiet. Now util being used just to remove some of these angles at the A site. It should become obvious to Aurora what the plan has become. Archside wrap on the cards, but Woxic answers for the first. That's clean out of Arostos.
Okay.
I've been missing that kind of hero figure for NiP. That double kill puts the hurt on Aurora, and the three-man stack is too far away to launch this retake.
Good jump on the timing there. NiP shows so much presence at B because they were trying to commit to an execute, and when they get blocked, they realize it's 3B. They just speed up on the long wrap. Arostos actually gets a chance to play around, and double entry will do it here for NiP. Fighting for 5. And because Aurora have money, they're going to make sure this one's expensive. Snappy. So many rounds where he's just pulled nades or pulled a knife and been punished. They're all dead here. Oh! Nice turn. Bit of a whiff, but all in all, good exits for Aurora.
It's a step in the right direction, but there's still a gargantuan task ahead of NiP on this T side. Aurora still have more tricks up their sleeve. Playing from the front, they'll send Wakadia aggressive through middle. Now Shush will find him on his lurk into the apartments.
Oh,
that's really awkward. Shush able to elude capture, and Jota can't capitalize. In the meantime, Ujerks hits the go button on this B plays. Antares dead. This X-Sword duo start to make rounds happen for NiP.
Yeah, they keep getting caught with nades in the B site. Finally, NiP just commit through the smoke and punish them for it. It's kind of wheels off in these last couple of rounds, and it's worked well. Survival game here. Money on the line for these two. Would love to keep their guns up. Oh my god. Five not out of the realms of possibility here. Aurora cool attack. It's 2 rounds in a row for NiP.
It's not out of the question for sure, but you know, I want to give Aurora some credit. Even in these rounds that they're losing, they're doing a great job of making it expensive. That one, they actually, you know, they weren't the ones trying to hunt. They were just trying to save. They were getting hunted, but they repelled everyone that came knocking. And this means, like, you're in this weird spot where NiP have taken these last 2 rounds, but still economically feel really fragile. Meanwhile, Aurora, thanks to that strong start, taking 6 rounds in a row, each time getting cleaner and cleaner, they still have more than enough money to come through with the buy and save depending. You know, that'll keep up till the very end of this half. NiP, meanwhile, could get broken still here and now, and this late in the game, that would be a disaster. Not out of the woods yet, are NiP.
I just got so many grenades, not just here, but also stacked up at the bench.
Doomsday prepper.
Yeah, dude, squirrel with his acorns, ready for winter. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. This B hit has been the object of NiP's desires.
So much loot, he was struggling to get the incendiary. He kept picking up every other nade. So now he's put them in little piles.
Molly's here, smokes here, flashes here.
God, they didn't come through while he was shuffling the util around.
Snappy goes back for a little bit more. Nut. And they're going to go for this B hit. But there are so many grenades, Harry.
There are, and there's not a lot of time left in this round. Now, Snappy does have a nade. If they get smoked off, you're going to be able to blow that open and still play this on your timing. Snappy, did he just throw the nade or has he dropped it? That's awkward. Now the re-smoke in towards top banana. You have no choice but to go through. Trying to play in their gray screen as they approach. They see that Woxicorp and it tears through the first man in. Spam for Xantares will hit its mark. This is NiP's money, an entire half. The recovery of it on the line, depending on Shush and Arostos in this 2v4. Shush was lights out back on train, but has really struggled to get on track here on Inferno. First kill comes in to try and tip the scales in this 2v4. He spots them making their ways out towards coffins, but he's gone. It's Arostos or it's nothing for NiP, and he will get bested, overwhelmed by Aurora. Maja and his stockpile of util combined with the fast rotate in seal the fate of NiP on that B hit. And now they pull up into this final round of the half. Thanks to the bomb plot with enough money to put a buy together, but it will have limitations.
I mean, Blair said after train, it felt like NiP won the game in the first half, and it is starting to feel the same for Aurora here on Inferno. This is getting out of control. Too far gone. And NiP with nothing to show for their T side. A fourth would go far. U-Jerk's just running amok. The best rounds have been him and Arostos just running in and finding double entries. This will only be one. Shush does catch Jota, and they're going to walk through the mid-smoke off that kill. Woxic waits patiently, punishes Arostos and Maja as well, who's 13-5, puts a stop to the captain on NiP. Oh my god, they just can't catch a break. NiP. The wheels really have fallen off in this half. Coasting. Woxic aware of the long timing, but Winkle's going round to B. Does Magic consider this? Because right now, it's a free kill and a free plant. If a clutch was going to happen, this is how it would start, but a missed chance. They are over-rotating. Bacardi going to help out his captain. They can re-push CT together. Woxic needs to be very cautious not to give up a free kill and a sight with it. We all know how hard those retakes are, even a man up. Does Woxic find this timing? It looks like he might have 9-3 on the half. Aurora stick the landing, and it's all gone so well. Maja, top performer for his team.
And, oh man, yeah, like, I think the thing that's been sick here for Aurora is not only did they survive all those force buys early on, but then they constantly kept the pressure on, knowing the type of game that NiP were having after that initial bout of force buys. They never let them establish any money on this T side. Those are moves that Maja and the gang had to make, and he felt in full control of this game throughout. For NiP, I think this feels like such a punch in the gut, because all those initial forces, while they aren't without risk, and it's not the safest way you could play those rounds, I think they were fully justified with all the damage that was happening, right? And so essentially you took the gamble, you took the bet on your own ability, and you felt like the risk was worth the potential reward, but they didn't get any of the reward throughout this game. And then the few rounds that they did start winning, as we've said, Aurora was super punishing in. And so even the victories hit like losses to NiP in that T side. They never got situated. And now Aurora get to move into this T half with a massive lead. All their players feeling switched on as well. You had everything you could have possibly wanted all game long. Whenever Woxic wanted the AWP, he had it. Santares got to play so much of that half with an AK. It was terrifying. Meanwhile, NiP were constantly working with limitations, and so everyone just feels a little bit cold right now.
Yeah.
And this pistol round, well, it looks like things might be getting worse for NiP. They've got a 4-1 stack between the A and B site. For the eagle-eyed among you, you'll see that Aurora are all going B.
Yeah, and it's, you know, they're flanking, but Aurora are going to be in this bomb site before NiP. Yeah, but they're going to miss it. They're not going to get the kills, right? They're going to lose the site. Jerks. Oh, they spot the flank. The bomb goes back. That's a risky maneuver, but Maja gets a kill. You Jerks ahead of the smoke that he blocked. Double off the headshot box, and Shush and Wrinkle are here to fight. They fall in Banana. Aurora really dedicate to killing that flank when really pushing forward felt like the answer. Nice block for you Jerks. If he doesn't, you know, hit that smoke, his headshot angle's gone, and Aurora make it into B. So suddenly a very difficult round, even with good timing for NiP. But look at this angle, it's easy for him.
I mean, that's like a gift of a pistol round falling into the lap of NiP.
Yeah, better take it. And a force buy here is interesting. No bomb plant. It's a very committed decision.
History can't be repeating itself already.
No.
Barely history.
No. I mean, it's just bold, really. But they believe in it. The apps pop. Smoke is not a threat in a round like this. Aurora will happily go through if they want.
in the apartments, but it's short the object of their desire. Arosdos getting out with one wrinkle, holds the line, wrestles with that M4. And Wrinkle tears them down. Great stuff from NiP's AWPer, getting it done with the M4.
Wait, this guy's an AWPer? It's a goddamn rifler. Absolute tank. Only guy in the site, 4 kills. And they're all facing him. So must-win round for NiP to maintain this comeback potential.
I'm not going to lie, like, it's very early, but I am a little worried.
You're buying in.
These rounds, you know, the way you're winning them feels really good.
It's 2
if you're
rounds.
NiP.
It's 2 rounds.
Yeah, but just don't underestimate, especially for a someone hungry and keen like Wrinkle, what the last few rounds will do for the confidence.
Oh, what about that one? What will that do for the confidence? Oh, how about that one?
Snappy.
2v2?
No.
That's a bit much. He could go B with the bomb.
When I said I was getting worried, I meant for NiP.
What's this? What's this?
Oh, God. Yeah, confidence.
Confidence.
Is dead in the water.
They're all just running. Why did Snappy push the smoke? You wonder. What comm did he have? Oh, don't plant open. Yeah, in the site. Ujux has timing.
Uh-oh.
Centaurus has to get off, and he comes running. Oh, dear. Ujux wasn't ready for that. He thought he'd stick.
Never mind then. This is
How about the full eco?
Such an insane round for Aurora to pick up. And it's one that NiP kind of give to them. Like, some of the pushes there, you're trying to react. You're trying to get your part of the chaos all in order in a very chaotic round.
Oof.
But that is such a rough way for this to go, just
Dude,
as it felt like something was panning out for NiP.
Snappy calls the classic tack timeout after a tilt round. How many rounds like that in this series? And I'm not even going to ask about the T side, the first 5 rounds of this game. Let's forget about that. But in this series, how many rounds have they lost NiP like that? I've never seen anything like it. They've lost so many like armorless ecos, low econ rounds. It's been crazy. They've done it all 3 maps. Got that 1 Deagle 4 Glock round on Anubis. Oh wait, that was last game.
Yeah, that was a different game.
Sorry. No, but Train, the anti-eco.
They lost the same anti-eco on
twice
in 2 different matches.
Yep. I don't know. Sus.
I think that's why, you know, when you look at the squad, you say, like, there is potential. They have to tidy up these very important rounds within the context that NiP always are losing these series by a round or 2's difference. And it's like we say, you know, you did the hard part. You beat the pistols in the even fight. You beat the force buy. But then you fall down to the naked round from Aurora. It's not even like the classic where, like, you know, you lose the first pick and it just kind of snowballs out of control. They were in a great spot.
It was winnable every step of the way.
All right. 3-man Behold.
Behold.
It was Ujax's work with the pistol that started this off for NiP.
You said?
That's a collateral. Arosdos comes through as well. Soaring heads off. Woxic makes the play through the smoke, gonna catch Shush in the back line. Is he ready for Snappy?
Is bomb really going back? Oh my god, leg
it's only the leg.
Oh.
They've dealt with Woxic.
It's
Wakani
fine.
is now trapped, pinned in. And someone up there keeps NiP in this game that much longer. Wakadia just doesn't have the time to win this in the clutch.
Oh!
They lined up, second shy of being able to do it.
What
That is a roller coaster of a round, but in the end, NiP get out with the round intact.
Eye for an eye, collat for a collat, just doubling up all over the map, and somehow NiP win it. They'll take it. They don't know how, they don't know why. Ujax 2 for 1, skewered. Meat on a stick. And look at this. Woo. If only there was another second. Yeah.
Anger, but then straight to acceptance. You realize, that's kind of unlucky.
Can't deny that. Dude, what is this game?
It's really started to heat up. But this is where, you know, you look to a roster that's been together for a long time now in Aurora. They should be able to find their composure in a match that's getting a bit more chaotic. NiP still, you know, teething pains.
Oh!
And Wrinkle falls first.
He's sharp.
They made Xantares angry, and they don't like him when he's angry.
Waiting for that fade. Bomb deep in the apartments. Oh, timing. It's a good grenade back from Shush.
This is the round that could win Aurora the series.
Yeah.
And it is Xantares to have opened onto the top performer for the other side. Those are the kills, the rounds that Xantares is supposed to bring you. Let's see if it's all for naught. If they can do good on that opening. Shush and Arostos.
Damn.
Lightning on this crossfire, but it's Major and Wakadia still in the picture. They're going to try and chase down Arostos, and it comes down to this 1v1. Clash of the captains. Major for Aurora.
Oh no!
Snappy for NiP.
No. Go!
Low on the board is Snappy. You can hear the jump up. Major's caught in the air, and 5 HP is the difference. Snappy might sit bottom of the charts for NiP, but that one round right there has kept them in Inferno.
The bomb on the balcony. It couldn't be worse. He almost landed it. Mid-movement up top. And it's Aurora put down. Now nothing to speak of. And NiP, the comeback dream, stays alive. From a 4v2 down to a 1v1. And still NiP win it out.
I mean, this could be a nice breakthrough moment for NiP if they can keep this going, right? They've had some very, very fortunate moments in here to get to this point. But if they can keep this going, this would be a real turning point. Usually they're the ones in sort of Aurora's position. It feels like everything's going great, and then the scoreline starts to close up. It's their turn to be the ones dishing out a comeback. They've broken through the Aurora bank accounts, leaving them again on just one of these partial buys, but you can't say that NiP have been great at dealing with them. Let's see how serious we are about this comeback. If NiP can put this one away, they are right there. Triple B lean to open up. Wrinkle going to try his hand at the peak with the AWP through mid, doesn't see a thing, and that's because Aurora are fast up in the top banana. Ujax does get sacrificed. Snappy at least, good for the trade. It's the pace of Xantares.
Oh God, where's the gun?
Oh, well, you know, they've had some good divine intervention, some bad divine intervention.
Yeah,
he is able to find that M4 eventually.
Used to playing with pistols in this map at least, but...
Wrinkle on the line. It was his death in that last round that started things off strong for Aurora.
Not again.
Once more, he's been deked out. Shush tries to keep them at bay, but he can't slow the roll of all these pistols. Plant found.
Not like this. Roxic AWP in a post plant.
And because all these rounds have come down to clutches, come down to real tight scorelines, NiP don't have any money. If they go for this, they risk the entire game. Saving at least, they'll have these guns and a chance in the next. But really, it feels like a mission now for extra time if you're NiP. The fact that twice over, the 2 rounds that Aurora have found on this T-half are on low buys is concerning for NiP. It's becoming a reoccurring trend in these games. Losing to low econ rounds in matches that go the distance.
But will this one even go that far? 11-7 with no real buy here. NiP might feel like they have to invest, and that's akin to how this game began. A force that is out of your hands, frankly. And Aurora have so much opportunity to end this series once and for all. We've only got those 2 saved M4s, SMGs and a pistol behind it. Something's got to give here for NiP. Or Aurora will be finishing what they started here on Inferno. Heartbreaking series for NiP. And an Aurora who are finally waking up after a slow start here in Astana.
I mean, right now, Aurora know they have NiP nervous. They're making noise on A, hoping that NiP batten down the hatches on that side of the map, that this B play is unaccounted for as a result. NiP are jittery, Ujerks felled straight away. Another big opener from Xantares.
It's been followed on this T side. Will be shut out, but so's the B side. Snappy swinging through the smoke, and there's no stopping this plant. That should seal the deal. That should signal the end. Even the lurkers going back. Aurora make it happen. 12 rounds on this T side and 5 opportunities to finish NiP once and for all here. And while it was Madja top of the server in that first half, Wakadia has taken the cake on the T side, 22-9.
I mean, you know, I think it speaks volumes as to why things have felt so restricted for NiP in this game. They haven't been able to win a gun round with more than 2 players surviving.
Yeah.
The only exception to that is the pistol right at the start of the second half where they got out with 3. You know, even when they are finding success, they still feel like they're just hemorrhaging money, and that trend has kept up late into this second half, where in these final few rounds, it's been these back-to-back forces. Aurora, 5 chances, and this is the easiest one.
And Xantares has just had the first entry every single time for Aurora on this T side. Like every time they're committing to the execute, Xantares cracks a skull, be it Wrinkle on the Orb or anyone really. 6 opening kills in the map, topping the charts there. No surprise. 4 SMGs and Shush on an M4. He's solo in the site. They play aggressive in Banana. The Orb spots it. Xantares is pinned in the corner, but he's fighting for survival. He's fighting and thriving, perhaps. Wrinkle with a jump shot. Woxic still here through the smoke. Shush alone on the arch side stops him, but Woxic might just end this game. 2 kills from him, leaving Jota in a clutch.
Try and move in, get there before Shush can join the party, but he won't beat him on that timing. Been re-smoked in at the bottom of Banana. Jota tries to play through it, and it won't happen. So 1 more round gained for NiP. 1 more chance to keep this game going.
This at least means they have everything now, right? You said that was going to be the easiest one for Aurora. NiP make it difficult just in the way they play 4 SMGs swinging Banana together.
Someone needs to give Wrinkle a restraining order from Xantares. Like, those two matching up just hasn't been kind to Wrinkle.
He's the anti-orb
damage right at the start.
He's just an anti-orb rifle. That's the thing about Xantares. You can hold him, but he will have that Pika's advantage every time. Great shot for Woxic.
It's the anti-rifle orb. Snappy backing up, but they see this as a bit of a red carpet rolled out. They at least get away with all this control at top B, and now that they've left alt mid, it feels like Aurora do want to follow through on this. Reload to send them in, and Snappy will fall. Arostos does what he can, but a double kill is not going to be enough to keep NiP in this. Wrinkle and Shush left in the retake. Banana is held by the Woxic AWP, and so you might have to pay with your life to even get this control over top Banana. Flash misses its mark, it blinded Wrinkle, he turned, and it wrecked him. And now Shush, from top in the charts to bottom of the board, can't set a foot right in that 1v3 attempt. Aurora lock in the dub with a clean victory on Inferno, in spite of some wild NiP moments.
Wild NiP moments indeed. Yeah, look, okay, all right, Aurora, fair enough.